Welcome to the Power BI Quiz Show. And today, my guest is Rui. Welcome, Rui.
Hi, everyone.
So nice to have you here on the show. I've been really looking forward to also, this is the grand final of the Power BI quiz of this little small September or December Christmas edition. And Rui, I'm not sure anyone or everyone knows your background because you're actually just got a new job recently.
That's true. I'm on the Power BI CAD team, where we mostly work with largest Power BI implementations all over the world, learning from them, advising them, and making sure that Power BI is always getting better for them and for everyone. So it's been a great 3 months.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
really sad.
you're a colleague now with Adam Sexton and Chris Webb and Casper de Jong and guys like these, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I can say that I'm famous just for working with those guys. So it's crazy.
Yeah, and then you are known for trying to get the most out of Power BI with different tips and tricks. So today your session
Exactly.
on this is called tips, tricks, and hacks. But today we are not covering the hacks because maybe as a Microsoft employee it's not the best.
Yeah, that could get me in trouble. So
Yeah.
I need to control myself now.
Yeah. So yeah, thank you very much for coming here and creating a quiz for us. But before we get started, we need to pick the raffle winner for the last quiz, for the quiz with Tristan last week. So will you help me and do that? Here, just a minute. Here we see all the participants from last week, and as you can see here, it was actually Marcus Powerbieler that won the quiz, but it was really close. We only have 17 point difference from first to second place. So really close. And we have, this was the attendees, so 29 attendees, and we have assigned, or Power BI with a random DAX function have assigned a random index number for everyone. And so here we have the list from 1 to 29. And will you have the honor of picking one of the numbers? 22. So let's see
22.
who is behind number 22. So this is Bess Bartels. So congratulations to Bess for winning the raffle prize for last week. And you are winning 1 month free access to Pluralsight. This is where you can find a lot of courses, not just around Power BI, but there's also a lot of content around Power BI. So 1 month free access where you can try it all. And that is also the raffle prize for today's quiz. And then we have the first prize. The first prize of the quiz is a $100 gift card to lego.com. So here you can see just some of the things you can buy for around $100 if you win the quiz tonight. So if you're getting the first place, you will win this. So yeah, this was the prizes for the quiz today. And then this is actually the last show of these 4. And we will also find out the winner of all of the 4 shows. So if you have participated in 3 or more of the shows, you have the chance to win and be the overall champion of this season. And there we also have a prize of $100 Lego gift card. So this was the introduction to the prizes. Then let's introduce the quiz. So This is Kahoot we are using as the platform for delivering this quiz. So if you haven't tried Kahoot before, you have to go into kahoot.it, either on your mobile device or a secondary screen. I will really encourage you to have two screens so you can see the answers and the questions differently. Then we will give you the game pin just in a minute. And then you will put in a nickname, full name, or your Twitter handle. In case you win the raffle prize, please put in something so we can hunt you down, find you. And then also be aware that we have a little delay of 3 to 5 seconds, so you will have to wait for the questions. And we will start with one question that is not awarded any points, just to get you all started if you haven't tried this concept before. And then we have the 10 real questions with points. And this is the questions that Rui have made around tips and tricks around Power BI. So it's a little broad topic today. Yeah. And the faster you answer, the more points you get. And then also please be aware that all results are posted publicly, and they are posted here on powerbiquiz.com, where you can go in and scroll down, and you have a little report here where you can actually see all the results from former quizzes, and also see specific results from specific So here we will post also, for now, we only have the results from the first to the second, first, second, and third season. And when we announce the overall winner, we will also post the results from this fourth season. So, are you ready, Roy, to get this quiz started? Let's go. Yeah, so I will go in here and then start the quiz.
Good luck, everyone.
Actually, I forgot I should have this little one on because it is Christmas.
Oh, I forgot that. I had a nice one as well. No time to go search for it.
So let's see who will join. A lot of familiar names and also some new names. So welcome everyone. So 18 people here. So let give people a couple of more seconds to join in, and you can always join later also. Just don't be stressed if you haven't joined already. So I will go in, and then I will start the quiz, and we will have the first question that is not awarded any points, and then have the 10 other questions. So let's get started. So this is a multi-select, so you can also try out that concept before we start. So have you watched Rui's Power BI tips, tricks, and hacks session? And if you have it been in person, live? Has it been a live stream? Have it been recorded? Or haven't you had the chance to watch it? Then you can, of course, always go in and watch it afterwards. Today we have 10 questions around this session. And also, I believe, one new that is not in this session. Yeah, so most of the people have seen it, and actually 3 people have seen you perform this session live at a conference, a user group. So
I think I can guess who those are.
Yeah, and for those who haven't seen it, then you can Google Power BI tips and tricks and hacks and Rui Romano, and then you will find it. I believe you have. You can find this. It is recorded several different occasions. Also with the Resurrect, I believe, and some other conferences.
Yeah, I've been doing it for a long time. I'm always changing it. This is my opportunity to play with Power BI and make those hacks and tricks that can make you more productive. So it's I really enjoy doing this session. But for example, the Power BI and on steroids, that is one of that I'm doing lately. It has a few tips and tricks for those. So I may be cheating.
It's fine. It's fine. Yeah. So this quiz is actually a lot around being more effective, more efficient when using Power BI. So not being lazy, but being efficient.
Yeah. Exactly. I'm really a fan of that.
So that's actually something you have to keep in mind when answering these questions. So let's get started with the first one, that is awarded points. So what is the fastest way to achieve the highlighted without using custom visuals? So this is card in Power BI. So what is the fastest way to achieve this?
The completely default card, so it's not a custom visual. And how to achieve it on any card. So whenever you want to do it, you don't need to do anything. Just apply some magic.
Yeah. Magic is a good word for a lot of the answers here in this quiz today.
Oh, a lot of people already knew about it.
Yeah, so calculation groups, you posted it on LinkedIn a couple of weeks ago, this trick.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite use cases for calculation groups. And by the way, it's something that whenever you show a number, it's important to show the context of that number, because 5 million of sales can be good, bad, and ugly. So just showing a delta variation comparison with something, it's what make the card more useful. And with calculation groups is much more than just time and aggregations and time intelligence. So you can swap the measure for a text and using the selected measure and apply the format strings, and then this is just a visual filter. So the idea is you put a measure on any measure on a card, and then you apply a calculation group calling show delta last year, and it will change the text of the card to be something like this. Of course, it's not the most beautiful thing. With a custom visual, you can do something much more beautiful, but this is easy and it will work on any
card with
so
any measure. Yeah.
Any measure, exactly. Using the format string of the measure, if you see the three, one is dollars, the other one is thousands, and a whole number with thousand separator. And if it is a percentage, it will also work. Calculation groups is one of the most powerful things in Power BI, and it's much more than what most of the blogs and most of the people talk about. They were created for those purposes, but they can do much more things. For example, Phil Seamark created, there is an amazing blog from Phil, from my team, from the CAT team, that shows how to achieve the apply button for the whole report, just using also calculation groups, which is a very, very nice trick. So Phil is a brilliant mind.
So let's see who out of these 9 people answered most quickly. So it's Maria Gabriel. So it is really close. We only have one question so far. So let's have the next one. So what is the quickest way to view the biggest columns in size on a Power BI dataset? And again, it's the quickest way. You can do it in a lot of different ways. So the more smart way of doing it.
Exactly.
You have 5 seconds left too. Oh yeah, a lot of people knew the answer of this one.
And 4 people got tricked into the Vertipack analyzer. That is like the next step, because first you need to go to DAX Studio, export the VPACs, and then you go to Vertipack analyzer. That has a big advantage that you can save the file, you can send it to another person on DAX Studio and Viewmetrics. You need to export it, but it's one of the most useful tools. And so if you don't know DAX Studio, and if you are a Power BI developer or you are entering into the Power BI, you need to know it, install it. It's one of the most important tools.
Yeah, and we also have Tabular Editor 2 on this list. And actually, we didn't write Tabular Editor 3 because this is also a feature not currently in Tabular Editor 3, but it's coming. Danielle showed it to us in the stream Friday with Reed Havens, where he also had this option where you can just say view metrics with your mouse over on a specific column and then have the size and cardinality and other stuff like that. So that's also a really nice. But Tabular Editor 3 is a paid product, and DAX Studio is a free product, so everyone can use that. So let's see the leaderboard now. So Maria Gabriel stays on top with Joanna Barbosa and so on. So let's have the next one. So here we have the multi-select. So valid ways to discover the local TCP port of Power BI Desktop. And with a multi-select, you don't know if it's 1, 2, 3, or all 4 of them is correct. So you can play safe on a multi-select, but you can also be a little more risky. It's up to you, because you don't know how many you should choose. And you have 1 whole minute to answer this one.
Some of them are well known, others maybe not.
So just 5 more seconds. So yeah, this was also a little tricky with all 4 of them correct. So most people knew about DAX Studio, and also actually this little nerdy one with local app data and the port.txt file.
Yeah, and also the net stat, because you can get the processes, and then with the process ID you can do a net stat to find the TCP connection to discover that the port. So that was actually the one I used a few years ago, or many years ago. So Power BI is getting old. It was the way I used to discover the ports in a PowerShell script.
Yeah, and then you also have the option of having it in Tabular Editor, showing finding the port number. So all 4 was correctly. So if you have answered all 4 on this one, you will get 4,000 points, or nearly 4,000. But yeah, nobody answered anything incorrectly on this one. It's just a matter of how many points you will get on this one. So let's see. So it changes a lot here on the scoreboards. A lot of people maybe played it safe, and someone was more risky. And so now we have Agulo Bernard on top, and then next to who's Ricardo and Nicola and Kiran, and we have Marcus, who won the quiz last week, also here on the top 5. Let's see the next question here. So multi-select one more time, and again, you don't know if it's 1, 2, 3, or all 4 of them that is correct. So valid ways to programmatically extract data from a Power BI dataset. So this maybe it's a published Power BI dataset, we can say.
And just a disclaimer, Power BI dataset is not a database. So if you have a use case where you are massively extracting data from a Power BI dataset, be careful. That could end badly. So, but it can be insanely useful to extract data from a Power BI dataset and reuse the calculations. For example, to show a KPI on a website, to get some data from multiple data sets and store it as a snapshot. But don't consider massive exports. That won't be good.
Oh, see here, a lot of people answered actually also DAX Studio and Analyze in Excel. So do you have any comment on this?
That you can export. So DAX Studio and export data is actually I contributed to that code. And I use that technique many times when I just want to cache the data, or maybe I want to have a sample of the data and I want to use Power Query to shape the data the way I want, but it's not programmatically. So, and also analyze in Excel. So you cannot build a script, you cannot use it on a website to integrate with Power BI. So this was a little bit tricky because it's ways to extract data in a programmatic way, automated way.
Amadeo also write in the chat, it is programmatically. That is the key word here. Execute queries. REST API, it's a rather new API. It's just a couple of months old. So you can write.
Yeah. That API is gold, okay? I can tell you, when I saw it the first time, I got so excited. So many ideas, so many things that we can do with it. And it works with Premium and Pro, okay? So with the XMLA endpoint, you need Premium. With the REST APIs, you don't need Premium. There are some limitations with the REST API, so you can only extract 100K records. But if you need to extract more than that, maybe you are doing something wrong. I used to say to my team back at DevScope, when we do stuff like that, it smells. So think twice. There could be another alternative. Maybe this is not a good approach, but one more time. So the ability to just connect through our API using a service principal, extract some data and do something with it. One of my favorite use cases is Logic Apps or Power Automate, using the REST API, do a query on the data set and send an email. For example, when some measure is greater than X, send an email with a snapshot of that data. And you can do it without writing a single line of code using the REST APIs. Think as a custom alerting system using the measures on the Power BI dataset.
Great idea here. So I believe it once again changes something on the scoreboard. Yeah, now we have a Nexus on top with Nicola, just as number 2. So, but we are only halfway through the quiz, so we have a lot of questions left. Let's take the next one here. Once again, no, it's a double point because now we are halfway. So how to efficiently discover the most active hour on the entire Power BI tenant? And it's the entire. I believe you should put some.
One of my favorite topics around Power BI. I also have a session about that, and you just as well. So you also have an amazing blog series on how to extract data.
Exactly.
Using PDF.
So we have a lot of people answering correctly using and collect and analyze data from the activity events REST API. So this is...
Yeah. Unfortunately, there is no out-of-the-box way today to do it. There is a roadmap to make it for you to be able to get these insights out of the box. The usage metrics API in the admin portal could be a good option, but it doesn't give you logs per hour. The usage metrics on the workspace, it gives you that data, but it's not for the entire tenant. It's workspace by workspace. And if you are serious into Power BI, if you have any kind of responsibility and you don't extract and analyze this data, you are driving blind on a highway for sure. And you are guessing, you are not knowing. So if you are not doing it, start doing it. Start collecting data.
Yeah. And you have amazing GitHub. Go to your GitHub account, and then you have a project around this with both extracting and a model, and also some great reports on top of it. It's just nearly a plug and play solution, but Microsoft is working on this also, and it is on the roadmap, and I've seen.
I'm excited about it. So I'm excited. The ETA, the public ETA, is early next year, and I'm excited about what's coming.
But then our solutions won't be needed anymore, because then you can just have a plug and play solution for Microsoft. But that's also, I think, the best way.
Yeah. I won't say it won't be needed anymore, but they can surely complement each other. And yes, so for example, if you are a Power BI admin and putting those solutions, even if with the Azure Data Factory or the PowerShell, you need to have some skills, and you need to have some permissions to do it. So it's not easy, Power BI needs to have something out of the box for the users that just want to. They are in charge of the Power BI, but they don't have the means and even the authorization to create a service principal, to authorize that service principal to connect to the APIs. It's some work, so it's not. It can be a little bit advanced for a typical Power BI developer. But if you cannot do it, maybe you have a friend that can do it, or you have someone in the company that you can say, "Hey, this is really important. We need to do it, because otherwise we don't have we are not making the decisions about our Power BI implementations in the best."
I agree fully. But and then early next week or early next year, hopefully we'll have a built-in solution coming directly from Microsoft. So look forward to that.
Yeah.
So we have Marcus, Sonia, and Lynn Harris also climbing up here on the top 5. So now we are halfway through the 10 questions. So let's have the next one here. So 100 reporting connected to Asia Analysis Services dataset. How to rebind them to a new premium dataset. So if you are migrating your datasets / models from Asia Analysis Services to Power BI, how can you then rebind all your reports? The most efficient way, maybe that should be also the smart way.
Really nice.
Yeah, so most people got it correct using the rebind REST API plus some kind of script. It could be PowerShell script, it could be script in another language, but
yeah. So here is just, if you ever need to do rebind a report to another data set, there are many reasons for you to do it. Don't do it manually. So don't download the Power BI desktop or go to the Power BI desktop and change the connection. There is an API. One of my most used API is the rebind API that allows you to do it, and it will do in seconds, so it doesn't have any kind of downtime.
No, it's easily done. I know Microsoft is also working on a redirect service, so you don't need to rebind it, but you can actually still have them point to Azure Analysis Services, and then you can redirect from there. But eventually, at some point in time, you will probably need to rebind your reports. So let's see the leaderboard here. Most people got it right, so it didn't change anything here on top 5. So, and there's a question in the chat: can you download the report afterwards?
As far as I know, no. There is no way to download the after reading. But
in a few weeks, I have heard someone at Microsoft, maybe was it Christian Wade, that they will remove this limitation, so you can actually also download the report when you have a live connection to a data set that is in a different workspace. That is the limitation right now.
Exactly.
And we didn't have that limitation before when having our models at Azure Analysis Services. So I have heard in a couple of weeks we should have it fixed, or Microsoft should have it fixed. yeah. Christian Wade has actually put out a lot of Christmas present this week.
And there is another way to do it, but let's not talk about it. It's completely.
So today we're not only talking about supported things, no hacks.
Yeah.
So let's see the next question here. So multi-select one more time. So how efficiently fill and maintain descriptions of multiple datasets, columns, measure, etc. How can you do that? You can do it in a lot of ways, but if you want to do the smart ways, so is it Excel file plus Tabular Editor Advanced Scripting? Is it create a Power BI desktop macro? Is it the XML endpoint plus AMO plus Excel file? Or is it the Power BI desktop diagram view? With a multi-select, you can answer 1, 2, 3, or 4.
And that's also a good best practice too. Whenever you have a model, provide descriptions into more measures, columns, tables. It's something that it will make your model more useful, more easy to explore, and especially on the self-service scenario.
Yeah, so both of these options included an Excel file, and that's also one of the great things around these use cases is that you can then export it, have an Excel file, send it to the business users, maybe have them fill out the descriptions and stuff like that, so they can take some of your work. And then you can import the Excel file once again, and you have these two different options.
And the yellow, the third option is maybe the most advanced one, but you can even make it more completely automatic. Like have an Excel file in OneDrive, and whenever someone changes that Excel file, it will use the XML endpoint and change the measures, change the description, so you can have it completely automatic. Of course, you need to be careful if you don't have the descriptions on the BIM file. Whenever you deploy a new version, those descriptions will get overridden. But if you have overwritten, so if you have something running automatically, that will override the descriptions. But my main goal with this question is, okay, know that this is a best practice. This will give more this will make your data set more easily explorable by your end users, and there are some ways to automate that process. So you don't need to use Power BI Desktop on every that is actually slow on this operation. And there is not yet a Power BI Desktop macro. Maybe let's create some
Yeah.
ideas.
Yeah,
And
and,
maybe
and,
it
and
will
for the web answer opportunity here, your colleague Michael have a great article on this. It's elegantbi.com. He has a blog post, has a lot of different scripts, and a lot of different. Also, yeah, you should definitely go check out this elegantbi.com. There's a lot of great stuff in there to be more efficient and smart around Power BI.
Michael literally programs in Tableau Editor. He doesn't even use an IDE. Everything is Tableau Editor, and just writing C# over there. It's it is amazing. So it's like his IDE, the development environment he has is Tableau Editor and Advanced Scripting, and there are a lot of things that we don't see the light of day. It's just he crafting his own magic and some crazy magic sometimes, but very useful magic.
So actually, there's a question from the last question we have from Donald. He needs to rebind Excel pivot tables from Azure Analysis Services to a Power BI after migrating. Do you know if there's some efficient ways?
To make, as far as I know, automatic, like a rewind API, I don't know. I don't think so. What you can do, and I've done it in the past, is you can have a script or some macro, but you can even do it with a script and using the interop DLLs from Office, and you can change that connection. So you can. What I've done in the past is all the files were in SharePoint, and something that goes to that SharePoint document library and change the connection, the file. But it's you need to write some code to do it. So as far as I know, the REST API, there is no REST API for the Excel that got published online. But it's also not a very difficult thing to write a script to do that operation, but you need to
have the Excel files accessible to do it. So this was just a little sidetrack. So let's get on to the leaderboard, and we still have Nexus on top. That Nexus is Ricardo from Spain, and Nicola, and Power Bila, and Sonia, and Lynn Harris. So multi-select one more time. So how to avoid uploading a large PBIX file just to update a measure definition. You have 1 minute to answer this one.
And please, if you have a 1 GB file or 500 MB file, then yes, I know that Power BI Desktop should make this easier, and it will at some point in the future for sure. Don't spend wait times and wait sometimes a large amount of minutes uploading a file just to change a measure or to change the DAX of a measure. So there are some alternatives there, and my goal is to make you aware of it. I'm confident that most of the people will get it right. Yeah.
So no, there's no option right now in Power BI Desktop to do this.
Yeah, you need to use the external tools and one of these tools to publish it. But you can still keep using Power BI Desktop. So but whenever you want to publish, you open Tableau Editor or the ALM toolkit and make the deploy. The advantage of the ALM toolkit is that it will make like this the file the difference between your model and the published model. So you can even achieve some multiple developers working on the same data set. It's not source control and merge, but it can get really close to it, and it can at least tell you, hey, the version that is published is very different than the one that you have. And you can at least go to the developer team and try to understand what changed. But please don't just consider that the way to publish is using the upload of the PBIX. But I also understand, and now more and more, that there are some companies that sometimes they don't allow these tools. Okay, and in that case, there is an alternative, maybe a little bit more advanced. You can also have your own script, PowerShell. You don't need to install anything, and that can connect to Power BI desktop data set and publish the bin file, but some work required to do it. But if you can have these tools, and if it's a big file, use it. But if it is a small file, then just publish with Power BI desktop. So we don't need to use the tabular editor for everything just because it's more advanced, and we want to be like the geeks in the room. But yeah, and I see even I see some people that don't know this. And they are actually Power BI developers and working for some years, and they don't even consider this.
So yeah, go look ALM toolkit up. It's a really wonderful tool. It's created by Christian Wade from the Power BI team, but it is not a Microsoft tool. It is a community tool, open source. And then of course Tabular Editor.
I think that it's Mac Software that is
yeah, I think they are the one who's publishing it, isn't it?
Yeah, not sure if Christian is still developing the tool. Maybe
there was a Twitter something around his website, the website for ALM Toolkit, and he responded on that on Twitter. So he might be in over it in some way still. And yeah, we still have this top 5 before we have the 2 last questions. So let's see. Yeah.
Everything can still change, right?
So how to efficiently migrate hundreds of thousands workspaces from premium per user to a premium SKU. So yeah, and the right answer is, of course, it is an API. You have seen that in a lot of these questions that this is the way to go if you ask Rui.
So APIs can make you like insanely productive in some operations, and this is I actually remember this question because I was working with a customer that needed to do this for, I think it was like 2,000, 3,000 workspaces, and he was going to literally on the admin portal, going to the workspaces and changing one by one. I think that there is also an option to change multiple, but you cannot select all. So, but using the REST APIs, you can just easily get all the workspaces as an admin, or if you're not an admin, you can get the workspaces that you have access. And you on the workspace API or get workspace API, you get the capacity ID, so you can search for all the workspaces connecting to the capacity ID of premium per user. And yes, premium per user has a capacity ID for each tenant. And then you do the capacity switch, use the capacity switch API to just switch the capacity of the workspace. Important notice, this doesn't have any downtime, so it's just a metadata operation. Of course, if we are switching between work capacities in regions, it could have some issues here, but we see a lot of this happening recently. So companies on premium per user going to premium, so the REST APIs can really help on that.
Great to know that. So most people got this right. So let's see if it changes anything here. No, it didn't change.
And one more time, if it is 10 workspaces, do it manually. So don't forget the script. Okay, but if it is 1,000 or 100, don't do it manually. You have better things to do with your time. Go play a game or go play with your kids. So don't spend time clicking with a mouse on the workspace list.
So before the last question, and we can reveal the last question. It could be a little tricky. So
now we are going to see who are the guests.
And maybe you have to guess. But let's see the last question here. Double points. So what's the encoding of the layouts file inside a PBIX file? As most of you know, you can take a PBIX file, rename it to zip, and then open it up, and it has a lot of files. One of them is the layouts file. But what's the encoding of this file? And if you know, I didn't know, I can be completely honest on this one. I didn't know it.
This was to change the game. The fourth place, if he is someone that is in fourth,
maybe let's see if
maybe it goes first.
Some of them on the top 5 was answering this one correctly, but because only 2 people. And I believe now you know the answer of this question, and now you can forget it again, because I'm not sure you can use this. And why do you know this, Rui?
I know this because, and so this is completely unsupported, so I hope I don't get in trouble with this. But so don't do it and then open a ticket about it, because it won't work. But this is very useful. For example, if you want to copy the layout from one Power BI desktop file to the other, one PBIX to the other, you can actually copy and change the layouts file. And if the encoding is not UTF-16 Little Endian without BOM, and BOM is the first 2 bytes on the file, when you zip it back up, so you make the change and you zip it again, Power BI desktop it will show the file as a corrupted state. But it is completely unsupported. It can be useful in certain situations. Michael also, we talk a lot about this stuff recently. There may be some nice news in the future of a new tool from him. But yeah, so sometimes if we need to resort to these tricks. The first time I needed to do it was because we wanted to copy the complete layout. And when I say the complete layout, is not the visuals, just the visuals, because that's the copy paste works. I'm talking about the bookmarks, the filters, and bookmarks. As you know, you can have a complete application with bookmarks. Just copying that, and now imagine if you need to redo all of that in a new Power BI desktop. We can be talking about days. And I got this challenge of, I think, a year ago with my team, and I was like, okay, we need to find some workaround, because I don't want to spend like 1 day or 2 days redoing all this, and we found it. Actually, the guy that figured this out, it's Ricardo Linhares, I think he's on the
Let's
quiz. Let's see if he got
let's
it right. Let's see.
see the podium. So
Let's
on a third place we have Power Bila, and second place we have Nicola, and on the first place we have Nexus Ricardo from Spain. So congratulations also to the runner-ups, and thank you everyone participating in the quiz. It was so nice to do this quiz with you, Rui, and
It was awesome. It was awesome.
Yeah.
Let's do it again.
hopefully we can
Thanks,
do
yeah.
it sometime again in person. Yeah, and this was the last planned Power BI quiz for this year, and then maybe next year we'll do one little season again with 4 shows. Or I have also have some requests from some Power BI user groups coming on doing a quiz on a virtual Power BI user group, stuff like that. And then in 2 weeks time, we will reveal the overall winner of these 4 shows. So on January the 2nd, at the same time at 8 p.m. Central European time, we will reveal the winner, because I thought, yeah, maybe next week a lot of people have Christmas plans, so we will wait 2 weeks to reveal the winner. So the 2nd of January, where we will have, for those who are interested, can join in, and then I will reveal it. It will just be a 15-minute session on a Teams call. So yeah, have a nice day, Rui, night, and have a happy holidays. And also happy holidays for
holidays
everyone
for you.
here. Hopefully it will have a great Christmas, everyone. So yeah, bye for tonight and this year.
Bye.